Hello, I'm Marcus, and I'm learning Rust by going through the Project Euler problems. Now we're on Euler number 4, trying to find the largest palindrome product. So a palindrome is just a number that reads forwards and backwards the same, just like a word. And they want us to find the largest palindrome of two 3-digit numbers and gives us an example of a 2-digit. Let's get started. All right. Cargo init our project and do that. Hold on as I set this up. Euler number 4. All right, so what we need is the crux of this is just going to be finding if the number is a palindrome, and we want to see a number. It's going to be it's not going to be a big number, and let's just return true for a bit and get our program kind of stubbed out. And we create a test. We're going to test this function. And let's do two. First one we're going to test is what they gave us. We'll do a couple of tests here. It's easy. That's true. Let's do one which has a odd number of numbers. And that is also true. And then let's do one that's not a palindrome. And that'll be false. All right. Looks pretty good. Let's run our test. We don't use the function, and our test failed, but as we expect. All right, so we now need to figure out a palindrome. It's just a string that reads the same from the midpoint forwards and backwards. So if we go to the midpoint, get the first half, go to the midpoint, get the second half, compare those, reverse the second half, compare. Sounds like a start. Let's see what we can do. Let's convert the number to the string. And now we need the midpoint. And the midpoint is going to be length of the string divided by 2. I don't know why I tested that. It is. This will give us still an integer, even if this is odd. It'll give us like the lower integer. You can test these things out too. So I think that's what I was thinking. Is if you go to the Rust playground, which let me let you see my monitor. It has you can just type in some stuff, type in Rust and run it, and it's a quick and easy way to do some stuff. So let's do a small number. Let's choose 4, and we're doing a number, right? We're going to do the midpoint of a divided by 2, right? And then we'll print out that midpoint. If we run it, we get 2 as expected, and if we run 5, we'll still get 2. It kind of goes down, right? 2. We run 7, we'd get 3. So that'll give us a midpoint. I think we're going to be off by 1 as we do things, but we'll adjust. I think we'll have to adjust the, because I think those give us this point even on an odd number, and we'll want that point. Or if we can ignore that. So we'll have to maybe add 1 on the midpoint. But we can see what it looks like, and we can test it out. So now we want to get our first half of our string, which will be string logically, we want to do this to the midpoint. Let's get the second half of our string, and I don't know the syntax quite right, to the midpoint like that. We may want to change this to this one to be a +1. So we'll figure that out. That's not going to work as it is because strings in Rust require they're all UTF-8. So it ends up being a little bit harder to count strings and numbers, but I think the function we want is get. Yeah, I'm pretty close. So it does work. You still can do the numbers. You have to be very careful when you're doing it. We're just using numbers and indices, so it's all ASCII, so it's all not an issue. But if you're dealing with UTF-8, just like real strings that could have like emoji and something like that, they have what you're counting may or may not be what you expect. And then if these two, I kind of want to just reverse this, right? I don't know if I can reverse a string. Let's take a look. I don't think there's a reverse of string. So maybe we want to convert that one to characters and reverse that. But let's just print these out to see what I'm doing. And see if it's giving me what I think I'm getting. Because I think we're pretty close already. We can just reverse that and see. Whoa. You did not like that. What did I do? Oh, it's an option. Okay, so the get returns the way. This may or may not work for the get. This could return an error. So it returns what's called an option. So the value actually looks like something like some value. So you can get rid of that sum part and just use unwrap. They want you to deal with it somehow. The unwrap command says like crash if it doesn't work. Remove that option if we can and just move on. It kind of does what you want it to do. Not the most safe if you're in the middle of like doing actual programs and stuff like that, but this is fine. All right, so here's our test. AB 9090, we're off by 1 like we thought, and this one's just weird, right? So that's our first one. So we can just extend A, so it equals that. So, oops. So if midpoint, we don't want to do that one. All right, so we just say, let's do an adjustment. Adjustment equals if string length is odd, modulo 2, if it's even. You can do some nice stuff in Rust like this. So if that is even, we just want it to be the string, no adjustment, right? Else it's odd, adjust it by 1. And if you don't, the last element in here, if you don't return something, that just will be the return. So when it said adjustment equals 0, and then this midpoint will be mid plus an adjustment, all right? Let's run that. You didn't like something. Oh, I need a semicolon there. Run that, and there we go. 901, 109, 10. That's fine. And I also set up Rust will auto format things, so it automatically formatted my stuff. There's something called Rust format. I showed it on the first one, but if you use the Rust Vim plugin, you can have it set up and it'll automatically format, and just you don't have to worry about tabs or spaces or any of that crap. All right, so I think all we need to do now is what we really want to do is convert this to characters, reverse it, and bring it back to a string. Will that work? I think it'll be a vector of characters this way. I think that will end up like that. Assume vector char cannot be formatted with the default formatter. That makes sense. We don't need to print these out anymore. It's working as we expect. Let's do this. Vector of characters for both of these. And we can do that. We want to reverse this one. And then they're both the same type. And if we do that, they equal, run our test, and it passes. So our tests are working. So now it would just be a matter of setting this up. For x equals a 2-digit number, and we'll have y and a 2-digit number. If let's do a result. Let the result equal x times y. If is palindrome result, and then we want a max. If result is greater than max, and result equals max. So we want to find that largest value here. Quite nested. Bo would not approve of all my loops and if signs. Should be more functional, he would tell me. But I find this quite easy to understand. So there we go. All right, 2-digit number, we're going to multiply them. If that result is a palindrome and it's the biggest palindrome, set it there. And let's run our test, run our program. You didn't like something, I got a typo. Oh, I got 3 dots, 3 dots. Run our test. I am doing something wrong somewhere. I did these backwards. Max equals result. Max is mutable. All right, let's try it again. There we go, 9009. So there you have it. And just change it to 3 digits, which would be quite easy to do. 3-digit number. All right, I'll leave that up to you. You can solve and get the answer for your own Euler result. Thanks so much. See you next time.